Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. This video we're going to preview game week 30 of the 2024-25 Fantasy Premier League season. So, sort of had forgotten about FPL a little bit given the extended break with the internationals and then the FA Cup on the weekend. But we do kick off in about a day or two, depending when I get this video out. So we do need to think about our moves going into game week 30. So I guess the handy thing is we do have a bit of budget. We only have one free transfer though. And I think Alexander-Arnold is most likely still out. And I guess also the fact that he's headed off to Madrid, perhaps they don't need to rush him back in necessarily. But I think he's going to be the forced move. Does leave a lot of money on the bench, so that plus the fact we do have a double game week coming up in game week 32 for a couple of teams. I think it might be a good time to use the assistant manager chip. So I guess the plan just before I do commit with the chips is I'm thinking if I play this assistant manager chip now, we'll get 4 games out of a manager, whether it's Newcastle or Crystal Palace. Not 100% convinced yet. But then, given we've already played our free hit, I think we'll try and use the wild card in the blank game week 34, to try and maximise the picks that we can get in that week. And then, go from there. So I think we've got bench boost as well. That will depend on the other doubles. So there should be 3 games that are fixtured with the FA Cup draw. So we'll just see where they land. They could end up being scattered around, and it might not necessarily be an advantage to bench boost. So if that's the case, then we just build from our wild card towards being able to boost, in one of those last game weeks. So I will run the assistant manager chip. So manager. So the 2 options we have, as we said, we're targeting that extra game week. It just makes sense to get more points. Is Glasner at Crystal Palace, who has scored pretty well so far, 61 points. Or Eddie Howe, who's only scored 29 points at 1.5. So I think it stands to reason that we go with Glasner. Obviously a nice fixture this week with Southampton. And then Brighton, I think they could potentially get some bonus points there for the, getting a win against a slightly better team. And then they do have Man City and Newcastle in that double game week. So that could be a prime opportunity to get some points if they can sneak a result away at either or both of those fixtures. So we'll bring Glasner in. So takes out 0.8 of our budget, but as I said, we're trading Alexander-Arnold, so it's not an issue. So if we have a look at the defence, so obviously Hall with the upcoming double would be nice, but he is still out till June, so the rest of the season basically. So I'm just trying to think, is his replacement, who's his replacement? Will it be Shah? Livramento? Well, I thought Livramento was a right wing back. Maybe is it Trippier playing in place of Hall? I might have to try and have a look. Fantasy Football Scout. Here we go. What do we want? Team news, predicted team lists. Okay, so Livramento shifted to the left, Trippier playing on the right. That makes sense. So I guess we have the money. We could go Trippier. Let's have a look. Not a lot of expected XG, XA in that fixture. What about Livramento? Oh, not really much better. I guess if Trippier is in the team, he is always a chance of getting a free kick type goal, but yeah, guess hasn't really featured in the team much throughout the season, so it's hard to gauge off these stats. Might just have to have a look at the ownership. 2% for Livramento, 3.6 for Trippier, so I think we'll go Trippier. We've got the money. Why not treat ourselves? Or do we want to bank it and try and upgrade a midfielder next week? We still haven't got Mbermo or Fernandez, do we? I guess it's sort of a wildcard type situation. Livramento. Dan Burn. He hasn't even scored a goal this year. Just more consistent with clean sheets, I suppose. How's Shaw going? Scored a couple of goals this year, but nothing too crazy. How is Newcastle's run? Brentford, Leicester, Man U, Crystal Palace. Could have a bit of a look at the upcoming fixtures. I think I saw something in here. Best players and teams to target. Here we go. This will tell us where to go. So yeah. So the next three game weeks they've got Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Wolves, with West Ham, Ipswich, Tottenham, Bournemouth, Ipswich, West Ham, Fulham, Liverpool. Maybe we could just do like for like and get Connor Bradley in. I know he's injured as well. So what's the predicted lineup for Liverpool? I guess is Gomez still around? Can't think. And they got Kwanzaa playing on the right. Interesting. That'll be a bit of a punt. Maybe we just look at Andy Robb or Virgil. We've got the money for technically. Yeah, Everton, Fulham, West Ham. Good chances of clean sheets. Guess it's just do we back Andy to get a assist potentially? Or do we look at Canate a bit cheaper but get the clean sheet perhaps? Oh, Gomez is injured as well. Struggling a right back. Hmm, don't know. What if it was Kwanzaa? It does say 25% chance. I don't think it's a long term thing if he is at right back. I think they need Alexander Arnold back. So, mm, how many goals has Virgil scored this year? Just one on assist. I guess just because he wasn't injured. Canate was injured for a bit, wasn't he? Canate? And 3.9. Yeah, I think we'll go with the cheaper option in Canate. That's a bit more nailed on. Make the transfers, yes, play assistant manager. Brilliant. So I guess in terms of this week, um, for Bruggen in goal, yep, I don't think Fabianski's playing still. Yeah, he's dead in the water. So for Bruggen it is Gabriel Canate we've brought in, so he should play. Munoz against Southampton is a lock. Then what do we got? One Basaka against Wolves, Honor against Man U. You could probably swap those two around. Um, Although, do we want to play Honor over someone else? So the mids. So if Palmer plays, we'll back him in against Spurs. Salah against Everton, lock. Clivert, Sarr, nice fixtures against Ipswich and Southampton. Beto against Liverpool, probably not. So Chris Wood comes in. And Honor shuffles down the list. Isak and Rogers are fine, I think. So, yeah, Brentford at home for Newcastle is a good fixture. Brighton away, do we maybe go Honor instead over Rogers? Yeah. And then I might even just shuffle Beto right back down the list. Last resort there. So uh, then just captain, vice captain. So given these a bit questionable, we might elevate Isak to the vice captain. But in Merseyside derby at Anfield, it's always going to be Mo. So let's lock the team in, and we're playing our assistant manager chip. So yeah, that's the team going into game week 30. Kicks off Wednesday morning Australian time, so that's why we're doing the video a bit out of sync. We'll probably do another one later in the week. So what do we got? So Friday morning. So it'll have to be Friday afternoon, I guess, leading into game week 31. And yeah, so as always, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a thumbs up if you do enjoy the FPL content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.